Hey everyone, this is James, and it is April 10th. It is 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. This is BTC USD on the Bitfinex exchange. So if you want to follow along, that's the exchange to pull the numbers from. First of all, this is not investment advice. And second of all, I like to just go over the overall trend. So after the bubble phase, which we had here, we have formed a series of lower highs and lower lows to accompany that as well too. So and then you can see the lower lows right here. But anyway, so the question that's been posed, and it's pretty much across the internet, is will Bitcoin break 6,000? Right now, what we are doing is forming somewhat of a horizontal consolidation, okay? And this is a pretty good sign. However, towards the tail end of this consolidation, let me just zoom in a little bit here. What we have here is a bear flag formation. Now, every single time Bitcoin creates a bear flag, it ends in disaster. So I just call them coils, but basically an upward coil. You want to call it a bear flag, it's a bear flag. But same thing here, and every single time. This is a much larger one right here. This is one of the few times it actually broke to the upside, but you can see that there's a high probability price is going to break down for where we are currently at. Now, if price breaks down, I'm going to explain the lines in just a little bit for anyone who's new, but if price breaks down here, okay, and we head down and we take out the 6,500 low, I think is what it 64.25 on Bitfinex. If we take out 64.25, which is this green line area, if we take that out, we should realistically move about 2 times the distance of the consolidation. So this little coil formation, a breakdown, will bring us right to about that 64.25 level. However, if we continue downside from there, I believe we will double the range, which is roughly about almost 1,000. It's like 800 and something points. So if we do hit that zone, we're talking maybe 5,500, and that's what I talked about in my prior video. I think we could easily start to drift into that area and bust out the 6,000 bottom. I do not think we're going to double bottom at 6,000. I think there's just too much going on here right now at the moment. So anyways, what these lines show, let me just kind of zoom out here and adjust my chart. Okay, so Bitcoin is at is reacting to a negative slope, and I can just take a line real quick. Let me just make this a color. This is just for everybody who's new. If you've been following along, you've seen this multiple times, but you can see that price is going downward just by one simple line showing the direction of price. Okay, what I do with my other lines, though, is I frame price in. And that's exactly what you see. You see a center line, and then you see a lower parallel, and then you see an upper parallel. These are where price is more than likely going to run out of energy to the upside and to the downside. When it does not touch the lower, it's typically a bullish sign. However, every single time we hit it, we got rejected every single time. Now that we've trended sideways, we've broken out of that area, but what we've done is just adjust the slope. So from this negative slope, we are now reacting to this negative slope. So we're still pushing downward, however, it's not as harsh. So what we see is price coming from here to there. So we're kind of like in the almost like a half circle right here, like a half semicircle is what I meant to say. I think that is part of the bottoming process. If we can hold this level, right, and I'm wrong about price breaking the 6,400 zone, let me move over real quick, then I think what's going to happen is that we are going to round out like so and then start pushing and creating higher highs and higher lows. And that would be a positive bullish sign for Bitcoin. Now, what you notice here too is the green line that's connecting these bottoms right here. That price is bounced off of once already, and now we're just hovering right above it. And then the purple line set was the prior uptrend, okay? This is just another reference point of that same upward slope to see how price reacts to this area. But if price takes this area out, my next logical assumption is that price is going to drop into the mid 5,000 range. So what would change that analysis is that if we do not break down from this coil, this bear flag that we are creating here, and we bust above about the, let's just call it 7,000 zone. If we bust above 7,000 and we start trading successfully, meaning we have to put in at least 2 bars, so 1 bar can go through, next bar will retest, and then continue upward, then I think we could easily reach about the 7,800 level. That would give us a lower high, or sorry, a lower low. I mean, a higher low, I'm sorry about that, and then a higher high. So we would basically do this. Then the question is, are we creating more of a bear flag here and just forming more of a guppy rally to that 7,800 zone? That's only going to be answered by once we reach this zone and price starts to get exhausted, and what it has to do after a rally is it has to recapture energy. It's going to do it one or two ways. It's either going to pull back like so, or it's going to move up and it's going to consolidate to capture that energy, okay? If we pull back, which I think there's probably a higher likelihood of pulling back, especially after this rally, Bitcoin's notorious for the wild swings. If we pull back and we put in another higher low, there's a high probability we're going to put in another higher high, and guess what we have? The rest of that semicircle is now turning, or sorry, that quarter of a semicircle is now turning into a half of a semicircle, and now we have a bottoming process in Bitcoin, which would be a bullish sign for price. I am more inclined to think that we still have more downside, but I want to give both sides. That way you can take away what you want, from this analysis. But that's pretty much it for tonight. Just watch the 7,000 level on Bitfinex and watch the 64.25 zone. If we start to break down below that 64.25, I think there's a high probability we take out 6,000, move to the mid 5,000 range. It's not the nail in the coffin for Bitcoin. It just means we have some more downward pressure. And one thing I did not talk about that I've talked about in my prior videos for anyone who is new, for following along, wondering where I'm coming up with all this, is basically because what you see here is selling pressure. Anytime there's lower highs and lower lows, there is selling pressure. It shows that sellers are dominating the market. Every single rally is being sold off. Every single one. You can see just every single rally. Look at this. We've almost returned to now the 6,000 low right here. Okay, every single rally that we've had, was the correction. This was the failure to break out of a new high, meaning there are more sellers than there are buyers in the market. You can obviously see what happened afterward, almost 2 times the distance to the downside this way. Another rally occurred. Okay, same thing. We failed right here. We made a high. We failed to make a new high. Boom, almost 2 times the distance downward. New high. Fail to make a new high. Question is, are we going to go 2 times the distance downward? That puts us right at 5,500. So we could remove all those lines and we could literally just go based on that. That is where my logical assumptions are coming from not only what is occurring from price action, but how I'm framing in price action with my own line sets. So if you do enjoy the content, please give me a like, subscribe, follow, depending on what social media platform you're on. Also, too, I do have a free Slack channel that's available to anybody who's interested in cryptocurrency. We have over 200 members now, and you can learn more about that. Go to geometriccharts.com. At the bottom, I have my links to my social media accounts, and then I have my links to my free Slack channel. And it's just a really good community to be a part of. Everyone's extremely friendly. Just extremely friendly. It's really just an amazing thing to be a part of. And if you're interested in cryptocurrency or you're just getting started, people share their opinions, they share news, they even share their own charts too. I post my videos and stuff there. That way, if you don't get the notifications on your social media platforms, you'll at least have another area to where you can stay up to date there. Sometimes I'll try to comment, but I'm extremely busy. So the same thing goes on social media. If you do comment and I do not respond, please do not take that as a form of disrespect. I'm just extremely busy throughout the day. But anyways, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. I will do another video tomorrow evening, and I hope you have a great day or great night depending on where you are in the world.